Hey guys, we are back. We've been dealing with an invasion of the Black Legion on Nereus 3, 4, and their capital, which is just called the Doom City. Now we found their capital ship, and we're going to attack their capital ship, which unfortunately, all of these missions have not been rather unique. They've all been kind of like the same things we've seen before. This is the darkest hour before the dawn. As the tide of war was turning in our favor, the Black Legion flagship revealed itself and started the planetary bombardment of Nereus 4. The destruction was horrendous, but this desperate move gives us an opportunity to exterminate the leader of the Chaos Forces and put an end to the mindless bloodshed. Gears of War 1! We were talking about it at work, so it's Destiny. Alright, I'll add it to the list. Jeremy tried out the Gears of War tactic game recently.
Location completed, but this is definitely not the bridge of the inferior.
If you haven't played that,
Tech priest,
that might be worth discussing.
Unforeseeable anomalies, Inquisitor. The teleportarium uses short burst warp infusion, and there was interference.
Looks like I need to find a way to this Lord Antaras.
Correct. Addendum. Warp engine activation detected on the target. The mission should be resolved as soon as possible. Entering the immaterium on a Chaos vessel is calculated as an extremely undesirable outcome.
That's on your list, your personal list. Yeah. He recently downloaded it and was messing around on there. Got it. Worth $40 or wait for a sale. Someone just pointed out to you and you hate this. Ocarina of Time 3DS is now as old today as Ocarina of Time N64 was when Ocarina 3DS came out. You're on the phone with the CRA? Did you make out with them? You know how to really creep out these CRA agents when you call them dudes? Ask them what they're wearing. I mean, assuming creeping them out is pretty cool. Dude's meant CIA. Ask them how they feel about amputations. No, CRA is I think in Canada, Canada Revenue Agency. Our CIA CSIS, basically. I actually don't know what that banner does. I didn't even look it up. I just dropped the banner because there was a supply chest here that's going to give me 2 more, so we're good. I think this. IRS, but for toonies and loonies. Yeah, essentially it's the IRS. Hi, Mira. Hello. You're very talkative today. You got everything resolved, and yes, her name was Rebecca, and she sounded very hot. Okay. Well, that's good. Did you fight her?
By the Emperor, a demon is bound to the chest. Begone, demon. Let's see what was so important in this chest.
I wish you were being funny. Funny like a clown? Is the same here for your amusement? It's time for us to go full Joe Pesci on you.
Look at this ship. It's hard to believe that those perverse monstrosities were once Astartes. It's shameful for every one of us.
Horus Rupercal was once the most beloved son of the Emperor. If he could fall, none of us is safe from corruption.
Leave no survivors, Inquisitor. Kill them all.
I do like when they talk about some of the stuff in lore. It's rather nice to hear it, like, discussed. Because I'm like, hey, Jeremy mentioned these things. I can draw that connection. You're good with clowns. Never understood the phobia, even after watching it. No, but I would consider other festivities, though. Did you know Sass considers herself the Joe Pesci of FF14? Alright, you're gonna have to explain that. What is the Joe Pesci of FF14? Major Yu-Gi-Oh tournament canceled because of smell. Did that actually happen? You're the one that calls yourself that. I have no idea what you mean. Oh. Okay. I'll have to think on it and get back to you guys. So, recently playing WoW, I started playing my my Death Knight again, and they changed Death Knight from what I remember, and I have no idea how to play it. But one thing I did lead me to remember is that WoW players are terrible. Like the average WoW player, like we did a dungeon, and I was the top DPS, and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I'm just pushing buttons at this point. Like, I'm pushing buttons in a order I think makes sense, but holy fuck. Like, even on my Demon Hunter, where I'm not supposed to be high DPS because I'm a tank, I'm still out DPSing, like, mages and other high DPS classes. I'm doing Unholy. Because I always do Unholy. Well, that's not true. In Cataclysm, I was Blood, and then Unholy was the closest equivalent to Blood DPS. It was the same rotation, just different ability names, and no self-heals. The only women competitor fled mid-match because she was going to vomit. Gross. Smash Bros. Literally had a meta at a time where you'd shit your pants to make your opponent smell it. No, I picked up the... You picked the wrong spec. You're now the worst thing to have happened to WoW since Piamet. No, this is perfect. Piamet hates when I play Unholy because she hates the ghoul.
This must be the entrance to the bridge.
Millions, perhaps billions, perished in this system. The blood of innocents calls for vengeance.
Damn, I killed my Killed my banner. It's rude to be bad at World of Warcraft, and doing group content with people doing less than 10% of the potential is annoying. It's pointed by your average after 14 pug, at least above around 70, is usually completely fine or good. If I do a random 5-man in WoW, I will get Death Knights with MP5 gems. I don't think I've ever seen that, but that's ridiculous.
No place left to hide, monster. Time to return into the warp, but this time without your wretched body.
Big words and little substance, mortal. As usual, you are just as blind as the false emperor, and that's saying something. But don't worry, I will keep you alive for a little while to witness the fruition of the War Master's plan.
Okay. Ow, why the fuck am I not there? The downside of embodied save mode is it definitely does not do well with damage intake. Like, you get no shields or anything, which is not great. When you played WoW, you tried playing Warrior because you want a Titan grip. First dungeon you played, you got out DPS and couldn't hold any aggro compared to a Paladin, so you just ended up playing Paladin because it was just easier. Well, as Warrior, you don't play Titan grip to get aggro in a dungeon. I mean, typically you don't, but you know, some tanks do. You got Dead Space who don't shield, DKs who use Death Grip on their rotation, Hunters who melee, Shamans who won't drop totems. All you remember from the other players in WoW is you were queuing for a dungeon as your DK, and the tank we had threw a shit fit because he didn't get the dungeon he wanted and wanted one of us to leave the group so he wouldn't get stuck waiting for the cooldown from leaving the group. Ended up respecing the hole eventually and had fun healing. So I switched to a tank spec and tanked for us, even with this fuckhead trying to screw our group up. Great. Get to play tank to tank from Kata on, and really, even in Wrath, although you play a hybrid Frostblood spec for tanking trash. But Kata kills all off spec tanking. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are ways to play WoW without paying for it. I'm no way advocating. Only that there are ways. Your last report was a source of grave disappointment to me and to us. The Word Bearers and the Alpha Legion aren't our equals by any means, but their battle performance has been lackluster during this endeavor, even by their standards. Something must be done to correct this mistake and finding unequal allies during this great undertaking. We have the whole galaxy within our grasp once, and we let it slip away, a mistake I will not repeat. This time, we cannot tolerate weakness and incompetence. I want you to make that clear to everyone. If you need to send in a few old brothers to the sacrificial pyres to make your point, so be it. Gather your forces and initiate the contingency plan in the Nereus system. We require an immediate distraction. Since Lorgar's sons have failed, the warp surges will soon begin to diminish, and the Lacheon rift hasn't even manifested yet. Those wretched Imperial dogs have gained some momentum in the Segmentum Tempestus. Opening a second front line here, in an undefined backwater sector, could be a decisive blow against their pathetic crusade. Don't expect any further assistance or reinforcements from me. The whole galaxy burns in the flames of our holy war, and even our resources are finite. Do not fail me. Do not fail us.
The directive I have found in this cogitator is alarming. Abaddon, the cursed despoiler himself, was behind the invasion. I'm afraid it is only the beginning of the true horror.
We must warn the Caligari Conclave immediately.
You can socially engineer PM's password and just play on our account. And by that I mean, tell PMet you know her password and then say some random word. And she'll go, that's not my password, and then tell you her password. You pay $15 every 4 months because you have someone who buys you WoW tokens to keep you from quitting. I forgot WoW tokens were a thing. Oh cool, I got a banner of piety. I don't know if I can use that thing. Oh, I got a sacred rite. The spirit of the exemplar. Gain 35 fate for every kill. The amount is increased by 100% per kill streak level. Alright. There you go. Okay. Energy shield efficiency increased. Do they still charge $15 a month? Roughly. It's better than what it was. You used to have to fillet Bobby Kotick for access to WoW. League just went out. Similar season. There's going to be Mop Remix is coming next season. Oh, great. That might be a good jump up. 3 animals. Banner of Incandescence. I'm actually going to hang on to that because it is a little better than what I got.
Inquisitor, you have a message from the Caligari Conclave.
Of course I do.
I'm quite satisfied with your results, Inquisitor. Antaros finally ceased to exist. I must admit that the order you have retrieved from the Inferius Eternum could be a crucial piece in the puzzle. The despoiler's interest in the Caligari sector is concerning. Even the highest-ranking members of the Conclave are startled by your discovery, but I'm not allowed to reveal more. You did fine work here, Inquisitor. I'm going to leave you to your own schemes and plans for now. But know this, you are ranked among the influential individuals in the sector. The Emperor protects.
Ooh, alright. You have killed Lord Antaros, the Black Legion Overlord. Hey, Chaos Undivided. The Imperium has thwarted the attack of the Black Legion in the Nereus system, but not without casualties. Nereus 4 has become a barren world after the heavy bombardments in the other worlds have also suffered greatly. The Tempestus Citadel, on the other hand, has been saved. The investigation has shed some light on the disturbing developments. The Word Bearers' rituals, the rebellion incited by the Alpha Legion, and the Black Legion invasion seem to be parts of a much greater plan to attack the system that's been cut off from the Imperium for decades. Okay. Well, let's sell our stuff. Need that, and we can sell this one. All right, these are the same ones as before, right? Nothing new there. Okay. Oops. Next mission. Okay, so we should all, unless they have another side quest for us or mission, let's do Uther's Secret. Are we going back to the Martyr? I received a most urgent message. Uther's ancient fortress monastery has returned from the warp in a sparsely populated system near an abandoned star fort. According to the Inquisitorial archives, the station used to be a secret base of Uther Tiberius, which was sealed and deactivated by the Inquisition. The hunt for the Martyr continues here. Anyway, everyone you know who plays WoW except one moved to FF. FF is an amazing game. It's probably my favorite MMO, probably my favorite Final Fantasy even, just from the story alone. And it is very much an FF game in terms of its story. But it is not your typical MMO, and rushing to the end is something that a lot of players make the mistake of doing.
Tech Priest.
They confirmed
this
it, not a leak
Imperial
anymore.
facility
Okay.
has been abandoned for a very long time. Are you certain the Alpha Pariah is here?
The data burst from the machine spirit was an emergency signal. The Alpha Pariah left the Martyr to follow an unidentified Vox transmission originating from these coordinates.
I need more information on this place.
Cursory data siphoning reveals that the deeds of Foundation bear the seal of Uther Tiberius.
This must have been one of his secret hideouts, designated to aid his pilgrimage through the Caligari sector. Did the Martyr follow the ancient protocols?
Tagged as speculation. Suggestion. Revert to priority assignment.
Rushing to the end of 14, only if the SAS told you not to. Wait, so what, they're skipping Cataclysm and just jumping into MOP as well? Like, interesting idea. Are you excited to do Warlords classic scene? Are you gonna get the old band together and bring back Victory or whatever? Another shot at glory.
Humans, no corner of the
What the fuck are
galaxy
these?
is free from their unfortunate existence.
I assume this one is with the Harbinger too.
I'm an Inquisitor of Holy Terror. Explain your presence here.
Tell me, human, do you speak the language of dream riddles and dead gods?
Enough of this babble. Answer my question.
I thought so, Moon.
Oh, this is your carry, okay.
You wouldn't understand our purpose here. Not even if I wanted to answer your question. But I don't.
Hardcore WoW does not interest me. Well, Eldar, not Jakar. But I'll be straight my banner. Box. These are different than the other Eldar we fought, though.
Interesting. Most Eldari either live on their starfaring craft worlds or sail as corsairs.
These are proven facts.
My point is that these Eldar don't look like corsairs. So what are they doing here? And they are showing more hostility toward the Imperium than usual.
Analysis shows that their tribal heraldry is unique. These Eldar specimen don't belong to any craft world listed in the folios of the Unholy in the ship databanks.
I must investigate these Xenos, but the Alpha Pariah is the priority.
X-loading the coordinates of the sensorium to your data slate. Access the surveillance system there. It could provide information on the Alpha Pariah and the Xenos presence.
Yeah, I realized that they weren't Jakari. The Dark Eldar. I wasn't expecting to run into just normal Eldar.
The existence of this Xenos scum is a stain upon the justice.
Jeremy, how would you feel if someone walked up to you and told you that you were a stain upon the Justice League? Dude, I want to jump at that dude. Just fucking teleport away. These guys kind of look like Protoss.
Cortical Lexicana module has flagged an important information. Supplementary notes on the Eldar suggest that some of them might carry memory crystals. used for information storage.
That could be useful. I will examine the bodies. You were right, Tech Priest. How can I access the contents of this crystal?
Secondary analytical coils activated. Converting and X-loading data to your data slate now.
Translation protocol Epsilon 23 Alucius. Pseudo-neural translation protocol on the provided material executed. Raw transcription. Loriak still sings in my dreamless dreams, but lost hopes and fallen heroes. The Empire of corpses and soulless ones are rejoicing in destruction and betrayal and selfish rage. The Tuatha must heal, even if we fall. The exarchs of the corpse must perish. First one gone, one to go. Conclusion. Loriak is a reference to Eldari Maiden World destroyed by Exterminatus. The records of the archives are inconclusive, as the Inquisition formally never ordered the Exterminatus. According to the complaint by Inquisitor Theodon Mercer, Inquisitor of the Ordo Xenos, the Caligari Conclave had informal allegiance with the Tuatha Eldari, and a direct aggression against these Xenos would prove counterproductive.
Tech Priest, I want you to dig deep into the Ordo's records on the Eldari in this subsector.
Any expanded search parameters?
I need information on the craft world Tuathal and the planet Loriok. You are authorized to use my temporary override codes. I must know why these Eldar hate the Imperium so much.
I think the only Xenos you don't encounter this are the Talon Necron, possibly Orcs as well. You can't remember. They do have a plethora of different enemies in this game in terms of like races and such. While many of them are kind of like the same thing, but like fighting the War Bearers doesn't feel any different than fighting the Black Legion.
Information on the craft world from the memory crystal.
A summary will suffice.
Tuatha is a minecraft world, primarily roaming in the Caligari sector. This Eldari megastructure has been constantly succumbing to a significant chaos infection that is gradually turning it inhabitable. The Tuatha Eldari have been slowly abandoning the infected craft world, relocating to the maiden worlds in the sector. This is what I have for now.
Keep me updated.
A lot of Eldar on this ship. Yeah, I have been pleasantly surprised with the various different races that we've run into. I thought we were going to just be stuck fighting corn and
gathering
Nurgle the entire game.
information on the recent history of Maiden World lore.
Proceed, Magos.
Most of the information is classified, but it seems that after the recent Tyranid High Fleet was destroyed in the subsector, a substantial number of the surviving Xenox attacked the Tuatha Maiden World and tried to assimilate the local biomass.
Interesting. But I have a situation here, Magos. We will resume shortly.
She just lied to her. We didn't have any situation. Everything was already dead. She just didn't want to talk to her. She just dismissed her like I dismissed Pianat. Jeremy, are you under the Tuatha De Danann?
Proud race.
This guy's called the Wolves.
Inquisitor, the contents of the memory crystal suggest an explanation for the hatred of the craft world Eldar.
There is no acceptable explanation for turning against the Imperium, but carry on.
The Tuatha Eldar requested assistance from the Imperium when their maiden world succumbed to the Tyranid invasion, but Soul Ford's world intercepted the message. The Adeptus Mechanicus decided to purge the Tyranid threat in their own jurisdiction and ordered a full-scale exterminatus on the Eldari world.
Sometimes one can only shudder at the cold logic of Adeptus Mechanicus operations.
Loriach has become a barren wasteland, devoid of all life. These Eldari on their dying craft world lost their last hope of escape from their demise. They blame the Imperium for their fate.
Of course they do. I should check to see what this banner even does. I don't know. Yeah, I'm
The tech priest is skimming through the personal logs in the tech priest data hoard from the facility.
Has he found out anything interesting so far?
He highlighted a few curious details. After the excommunication of Uther Tiberius, the place was investigated thoroughly and used by the Inquisition. After a fatal Chaos incursion, it was abandoned on the order of the Caligari Conclave.
Which means that the Eldar didn't attack the station.
No, they just took possession of the facility.
Anyway, yeah. So I think the only game I've played in the series that has orcs is Chaos Bane so far. Or not Chaos Bane.
Human shrine. I need to return
Space
there
Marine.
immediately.
The spirit stones of our brothers and sisters are empty husks. How is this even possible?
The Harlequin warned us, and foolishly we ignored her words. I will deal with the Harbinger. You stand guard here. We have a new intruder.
Okay, he's out.
Access the terminal to open surveillance mode and restore power to the facility.
That didn't take long. Guns, Blood, and Teeth lets you play as Shoot as Blood and Teeth. Is that a game? Because yeah, the only one I remember playing like that had orcs in it was Space Marine. Demon Hunters didn't.
I have located the Alpha Pariah. She is on Shrine level Alpha 4. I need to return to the ship. Then I will find her.
The side-scrolling
Power has been
platformer.
restored
Interesting.
on all levels. Good.
Like Contra? Fascinating. Alright, yeah, we can go about it for another 30 minutes or so, guys. So let's go back to the ship. I only got 800 EXP for that? What the fuck? Why does this game hate me? But love that man, whoever that man is. Okay, so I think I actually have a point to put in that I didn't. I do want it. That's definitely better. Sure. and right, let's see. Do you have anything new weapon-wise? She does actually. Still not better when I'm using. That one is a little better when I'm using, but not much. So I'm not gonna bother with that. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back and we will explore some more. Go anywhere.